I a bitch or me every day of my life? Me at work. Was that just a bitch move or?
Yeah, or was that a valid feeling, or am I just a cunt? Like sometimes you just never know.
At this point I just look at them and I'm like, I feel like I'm like a mom to my like the people at work, because I kind of am. Essentially, I'm like a babysitter. Mm-hmm. And I'll literally be like, instead of like that, it's because I'm your mom because I said so.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm your boss.
Yeah,
like that's it.
And
then I walk away and I was like, damn, that was kind of a bitch ass thing for me to do, but
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sometimes it just feels good to be a bit of a bitch.
I'm gonna say it. Have sex with a Scorpio.
I could glute bridge your dad. I'm naked. Hold on.
We will be flicking the beans to that.
But she's tatted and I take meth. Is somebody in your house right now?
But you know what? Fuck your ass.
Yeah, I had sex last night.
You can make your own money. You can literally have your own job of your dreams. You can own your own house. You can own your own car. You can pay all your fucking own bills. So what is that man? That man is sex and a best friend, and that's it.
I heard nothing but the truth.
Yeah, and I feel like people don't accept that a lot more. I feel like we're all supposed to be like nice in society and like do all the things, and like sometimes I just want to be mean. And like my friends at work are like, they're like, you're a hater, and I'm like, I'm not necessarily a hater.
I 100% am a hater.
I know. No.
Yeah.
Let's say this. I know I'm a hater but let's be for real. The things I actually want to say, they don't come out anymore. Like I'm old enough now. I can like filter through the shit. Like it's getting better, and I know that I am. But at the same time, like just because you don't want to hear the truth doesn't. Am I a hater for that?
Yeah.
Or are you just sensitive? Like that's what I'm like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything like actually mean or terrible.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to hear the truth, and I think that something you should look
And
at.
sometimes the truth hurts in a world full of lies.
Thank you.
What's that TikTok sound? Is that what it is?
Like, I think that you need to go look inward and be like, damn. And don't look at me.
Yeah.
That's how I think. Hater, I think, is a strong word.
Yeah. I would say that I'm a pretty big hater. I mean, that's the majority of my TikTok comment is me, or my TikTok like videos that I make is me shit talking something, someone, some video. Like
I just think I'm a truth teller, and y'all are hurt.
No, that's what I'm saying. And then people sometimes in my comments are like, they love to like if I comment on something and like I'm like talking shit on something, they like to comment about something on me, and I'm like, that's fine, that's like your valid opinion, but like what, you can't get mad at me for saying what I'm saying if you're just gonna turn around and do the same thing to me. Exactly. So like at the end of the day, we're the same.
Period.
At least what I'm saying is true. Like you saying that I have a bad haircut is just not true. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not the same thing. That's where people have been getting me recently. They're like, well, at least I don't have ugly hair, whatever. And I'm like, in what world though? Because like my haircut is like pretty decent. Now, do I style it all the time? Absolutely not. So sometimes maybe it looks a little bit strange in TikTok videos because I have bangs, but I just let my cowlick and I don't actually style them. But like, chill with that.
When Emily's hair is styled, it's a slay.
Yeah, it looks good, but like I'm sorry I don't wake up every day and like look like a princess on TikTok.
If you were working from home, I wouldn't either. Like, I mean, do you see me today? Every single Tuesday, like,
that's what I wore at work today.
Listen,
at home.
Every single Tuesday, I look like garbage on here, and y'all probably think all she wears is sweats, no makeup, and glasses. Well, because I literally, that's my Tuesday outfit. Yeah. I woke up at 1:00 today.
Yeah. When you texted me then, I was like, okay, slept in a long time today. I was like, okay. Hey, like my last meeting is at 3. I can come over after you go. Okay, sounds good. I just woke up. I was like, I looked at the phone. I was like, oh. Very different vibes today, but that's fine.
Because, okay, I closed the restaurant down 3 days in a row. And when you get home at 3 a.m., 4 days in a row, at some point that shit catches up. And then every single day too, I had to go back to work. So like I had to set an alarm. And then also I wanted to go to the gym. So I had to be up earlier and like have the time. And like, so then today I was like, fuck it. I'm just not going to set an alarm because I'll wake up before like whatever.
Still got for the afternoon.
Yeah. Didn't do that. I literally woke up and I looked at my phone. I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. And
nothing it makes you feel more like a piece of shit or more like guilty than like sleeping in later than you planned on it. Because I will say, like, for me, that makes me so annoyed with myself. Even if it's only like 2 hours or 1 hour later than I planned, I was like, ugh, my whole day's ruined.
Well, my thing
or
is,
I'm like, ugh, I can't catch up.
I know, I would have liked to be up. In my brain, I was like 11, 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I woke up at 1. So it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
But, and like, also, to be fair, I went to bed at 5 a.m.
Right.
And I'm probably not going to go to bed until like at least 2 or 3 today, simply because of like just the way my body's schedule is. Like, it's just, I work at night. Like, I essentially work like second shift.
Yeah.
So like, it just is what it is. Like, I can't help it, and it's annoying, and I fucking hate it. But at the same time, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I have a lot of things that I need to get done in this day.
Yeah.
And I have no more daylight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. It's dark outside. No more daylight. So,
dang, it is already dark.
yeah.
I was thinking those were like blackout curtains for hot.
They're white curtains.
Yeah,
they're not
sheer.
blackout. Yeah, they're not. It's black outside. So, and I mean, like, just have like things in my head I've been wanting to get done, and like, I haven't been able to do them. So, yeah, it sucks. Like, I don't enjoy this schedule because it's so chaotic. Like, there's no structure, and I'm a structured person, and like, it's just now I'm at the point where like I've been doing it. Honestly, in February is a year that I've been doing this, and like,
isn't that crazy how fast a year goes by,
dude? For real. I mean, I saw my other job at this time, but like, I've been now at this like restaurant for a year, and like the chaoticness of it. So like, I'm at a point now where it's like, if I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go to the gym.
Right.
Like, I have like to force things into my life, but like, God, it's hard. It's hard, but that's okay. I think like, I don't know, there's like a lot of life changes, and I think we talk about this often, but like, I don't know, maybe it's like a new year type thing where I'm just like, okay, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
And I've been thinking about that a lot recently. No conclusion.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel similarly. And I think like all the changes that have been happening in my life, like I'm just hitting a point where I'm kind of like, okay, what's the next thing? Like today I was literally thinking like last year I was training for a marathon, and like I ran a marathon in March of last year. And like this year I literally like haven't really done anything, and I was like, okay, I need like another big goal or something, because I'm just hitting a point where I'm like, I've had enough recovery time, not like physical recovery, but like recovery in just like life. Like this past year was like a year of like so many changes happened that like I've been allowing myself to just kind of like,
no, I really think that this past year for me was like a massive year of growth, like maturity wise, like even just like little things of like learning that I need to like slow down, and sometimes like things aren't that serious, or like having to like actually take a step back on things that like I truly enjoy, and just like having to figure out, like, I don't know, I just think like this past year was a massive year of growth for me, and I needed it and I loved it. But now I'm like, to your point, like, what's next? What am I doing next? Where am I going? What goal can I set now? And like, I don't know. So that's just like, I've been reflecting on that a lot this past week, and it's like, it had me in my feelings. Yeah. And I'm like, I have like options, I guess, but nothing's like set in stone. So I don't really know. I don't know.
Yeah. I went and got lunch this weekend with one of my friends from grad school, and like I hadn't seen her in like literally probably close to a year, like since the last time we connected. And it was just funny like catching up with her, because we were like talking about like how fast the year goes by, where it's like a lot has happened, but at the same time, like not much has happened since the last time we like caught up. And so that was like fun to like do that. But I was also like so surreal, because I'm like, okay, what's like the cliff notes of like everything that's happened this year of me to like tell you. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, yeah, shit's been kind of the same. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, what have I really done this past year?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just a weird thing to catch up with somebody, because like you don't get into like the little intricate like tea type things with somebody who you never really see. Like that's more of like a,
well, it's like my best friends when I go home, like we'll go get lunch. We're like, okay, like an hour or two. And then like we're there for 6 hours together, because it's like because we want to, like, you're my best friend. And like we always had that. It's like we both are like, like it's like back and forth like the whole time of just like so many intricate details. And then we're like, did we conclude anything?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Literally.
We did not.
I know, that's like every time I go home and I get dinner with like my best friend, it's like we meet up at like 6 and then we like peace out at like 10:30, like the restaurant's closing. And I was like, well, I guess we'll see you in a year.
Yes, see you in 6 months. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that's the same thing, but I don't know. Catching up with friends, like it does that. Like, I went to lunch the other day with one of my friends and who lives here, but like we're becoming friends. Like it was like work friends at first, and like we're very, very similar people. But like, I don't know, we just kind of like never hung out outside of work, and then we like started to get like coffee before we go into work or like whatever. And we had lunch the other day, and we like started talking, and that's where like my brain started being like, okay, like what am I doing? Because like she like started to talk about like her plans, and like which is interesting because they're like some plans like I've always like thought for myself in my life.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's really weird because I've always like debated XYZ, but like I just never had the balls to either do it or like, should I don't know. And then like we're talking about, and it's just like weird because then I started being like, okay, do I do these things? Like, I don't know. It's all it is like not, it's not that serious. We can talk about it is, like she wants to go back to school. And I've always like in my brain debated like, do I want to do that? But like the time commitment, the money, the stress, that's where I'm out.
Yeah.
But like the craziest thing is what she wants to go back to school for is exactly what I want to go back to school for. And her undergrad degree and I we have the same undergrad. So we're like, we'd be starting at the same exact point.
Right. Yeah.
So we were like, is this weird that we both want to do this and like whatever? So we were talking, we were like, should we go back to school together? Like, I don't know, but like, and like help each other through this. But also at the same time, I'm like, is that what I want to do?
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to have that degree. Even when I went to my undergrad, that's what I wanted to go to school for. And then I got talked out of it. And they were like, business is the way. Yeah. That's what you should be doing. And to me, I'm like, that doesn't seem right.
Right.
Sitting behind a desk doesn't seem fun to me. And then, I don't know. So that's like weird because now I'm like, the ball is like rolling in my head of like, okay. Like
it always helps when you hear somebody else say that they have like the same kind of like path that you're after, because it's like comforting to be able to like look at somebody else in your life and be like, okay, if they're doing it, then like I could do it.
Right. And we're the same age. Like same point, like whatever.
It's not as like crazy of an idea if somebody else is like seriously considering it too.
Right. Exactly. But like, then it's like, okay, with the podcast, like if I go back to school, like, there's like, they're technically two different paths, which like easily could be combined. But like at the same time, like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's just so like weird. I don't know.
It is hard with stuff like that because like when you think about this,
because like this is my passion and this is where it lies, and like whatever, like I also have a massive passion in that, but I'm like I think it'd be disservice to not want to try for that as well. Yeah, because like they could easily combine into like this, like I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a confusing time in your that transition between your mid and your late 20s, and just like
I feel like everyone has this crisis.
Yeah, it gets real fast. And I'm hitting that point in my life where I went from living on my own and being like, I'm gonna be this girl boss of the blah blah blah. But then at some point, like when you don't give a fuck about the corporate ladder, that means you're also not gonna be making as much money, which means you're also not gonna have as much money to spend on rent, which means bitch gotta get a roommate. Yeah. And so now I'm like, not that I'm backtracking, but I do feel like and I know the world isn't gonna view it this way, but it's just like me and my brain. No,
but
like
I know where you're going.
You know what I mean?
I would
it's
feel
like
the same. Yeah.
It's like feels a bit like I'm taking a step down in the path that I was moving forward in life, because I'm like, well, okay, well now I went from, you know, being so independent to doing all these things and to now it's like, okay, well now I live with somebody, and even though we have like a bigger space and like it's way nicer than what I had before,
your house is so cute.
I'm still like paying less in rent, and not that it's like anything bad to do that. Obviously that's the whole reason I wanted roommates, to pay less money, but it does feel a bit like you kind of flopped a bit. Like if you would have tried a bit harder, like chose a different job, like
to your point, like I could have climbed the corporate ladder and I could have done this. And, like, I could be not following my passion.
Yeah.
And, like, to be honest, like, and that's the hard part with like this specifically, like being our like goal in life and things that we enjoy, right? Is like there's no like true outcome. Yeah. Like we have an idea of what the outcome could be. Yeah. And we both of us fully believe that it can be that outcome. But like when that doesn't hit your bank account every month, that shit kind of sucks.
Right. No, it is a hard like thing too, where it's like I get asked questions all the time where it's like, well, how's it doing? And you know, what are your guys' goals with it? And like, how much money have you made? I'm like, yes. if I tell you the truth, I might cry a bit in terms of like, you're going to think it's a failure in your mind, but in my mind,
but it's not though, because financial reward.
I know, but people don't view things as like positive or worth it if there's no monetary thing. And I've also realized that with social media too. When people have large followings on social media, there's always this assumption that it's like you're making a bunch of money off of it or whatever. And there's so many creators who don't see a penny from any of the content that they make. And it's so hard for people to comprehend that like people do it just because they love it. Mm-hmm. And because we live in a world where it's like if you're not profiting off of the things that you love, then why do you even do it? Mm-hmm. And it's like, but that's not why you should do shit. Like if that happens, great, it's a bonus. But like there's a lot of things that people have passions for that they do and they spend a lot of fucking time doing. That's never gonna make them any money. Yeah. But it's so funny because like you wouldn't tell somebody that who's like, I don't know, like an avid hiker or like, they love like playing video. Well, I don't know. I feel like video games people even are like, well, why don't you stream? And it's like, it's not just like about that. And also it's not that easy.
It's because, well, it's just like the way that our society is like built. And I think that's like the hard pressures of like growing up now, to be honest with you, because like you see so many successful people and so many people our age and younger that have millions of dollars in this crazy lifestyle, and
or you think they do. That's another
100%. But like that's the viewpoint, right? Like that's what they want you to believe. That's how we take it. There's whatever, and it's like kind of comes to like now me, I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing? And like, that's like, this is my passion and I also enjoy doing it, but I also have a passion for that too. So it's like, why should I not be able to do both? And then I'm like, okay, but how could I do both those things and then still work and pay my bills? Like, that's where I'm like stressed about it. And I also know like, regardless on every single thing will work out if I decide to also do that. Yeah. And whatever, it's all going to be okay. But it's also like, it's like a weird time in life where you're just like, what the fuck am I doing? And what around me is like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Am I digressing? Am I going forward? Am I like, I don't know. And the world tells you that, I guess technically you're digressing if you want to go back to school and you're about to be 27 and having a roommate when you're about to be 27. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's like society tells you these things, but like truly it's just like, that's just not it. And also the way the world is now is like, it's not the way our parents were. Yeah.
Like, I mean, to be honest, we're all stunted also from COVID too, in terms of opportunity, in terms of how much money we're making, in terms of like our like financial like savings that we were able to have, because like it just wasn't real. Like for 4 years, we kind of got put on pause, like especially with us graduating college, like right when it happened. And like it just like for everybody, I feel like the good and the bad of it is there's grace being given to everybody because of it, but also the bad of it is like the world didn't slow down just because we did.
It just kept progressing, and we're like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm catching up in life. Yeah, and I feel like it just doesn't stop.
We're catching up, but at the same time, we're still aging, and that's what's stressing me out. Also, speaking of aging, I'm becoming hyper aware of what I look like recently, which like isn't a bad thing. I think it's good because it's helping me in things like my makeup. Like I'm understanding my face shape a lot better. And so I'm understanding like better ways to do my makeup and more flattering ways, whatever. But I'm also like, I don't know if like they've always been there or I'm just noticing it now, but I'm like seeing some wrinkles where I'm like, I don't think I noticed that like 3 months ago. And I'm like, ooh, where did you come from? And can you stop showing up? It's specifically like right around my eyes here.
Okay, but like also you used to get Botox.
No, only right here on my forehead. Okay. Yeah, I didn't get it anywhere else. So it's like, it's just, I can't even give that as an excuse where it's like.
Stress, sleep.
Yeah.
Eating,
but also I think
water.
I think we're just getting older. And I'm like, I literally was like, oh my God, is this, wait a second. And I was like doing like all these different angles because I thought I was tripping at first. I'm like, oh my God, no, it's real. Those are just, I was like, those are not even smile lines.
Getting like have you got a gray hair yet?
No, but also my mom didn't gray until she was like 50.
I only have one and it's like in the same spot and I pluck it out.
Don't.
I do.
Don't pluck it out. Just let it grow, and then whenever you color it, just color over
Okay,
it.
but the thing is, it's not in my hair. It's in my eyebrow.
Oh, what the hell?
It's weird. It's like one comes out of my eyebrow, and it gets like
weird.
And
some days I think I have like a gray or white hair, but it's just like the light hitting my hair a weird way.
No, it's for sure, because then I pull it out and I'm like inspecting it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's actually so interesting. No, but a lot of people with like darker hair, typically like gray or white earlier, like, or people with red hair. Like my cousin.
That would make sense, because if you have like lighter hair, you're just not gonna see it.
Yeah.
As fast.
Yeah. But like my cousin has like the fucking best hair ever. She's like the thickest, like prettiest, like natural redhead, but it's like a deep red color. It's just, oh my God, it's perfect. But I even like when she was young, I think she had like a couple of like white hairs, just because like it's really common with redheads. But no, I don't have any gray hairs yet, but I do have some wrinkles, and I'm like,
but
not really. I'm not really vibing, but also at the same time, like I think we're seeing in real time the like adverse effects of filler and excessive Botox, where it's like all these estheticians told us you should get it young, you should do this stuff, you should train your face, and it's gonna do X, Y, and Z. And now all these plastic surgeons and stuff are coming out and being like, we actually really don't know the side effects of like continual like filler usage. And you know how we told you like it's like made of like natural things that your body can like, you know, metabolize, like it will go away. It's really not, and you have to come get it dissolved, like if you want it to go away. And like we're seeing in celebrities who are our age and look like they're fucking 45, and it's like, oh my God. So I'm also trying to just be like, just be natural, like whatever, like it'll be fine. But like the other day I was like, oh my God, like I have like actual wrinkles.
I don't think I've noticed wrinkles on me, but like, you know, my filler, like I haven't had filler in over a year. And I was actually went through, I was in my camera roll the other day, and I had 12,000 pictures and like 400
Jesus Christ
videos or whatever. So I went through all the way through my phone, and now I'm down to like 7,000 photos, which is like crazy. I deleted that many, but I was going through and I saw like the last time I got filler, and I was like, the way that my lips looked, like just so juicy.
Dude,
and amazing.
There's
and
this
luscious.
one photo I have on my Alexa that like it's like the day you got filler.
Oh my God, yes, yeah. The day I had like my hand was like in front of it, and like
it was that night, and literally there's one picture of you, and it looks like you have like fake, like those like wax lips.
Yes.
Oh my God. And every time I see that, I'm like, who is that? I'm like, oh my God, that's Kellen.
That's the first time I ever got filler, and she just like hit me with a full syringe.
You were like, they're kind of swollen, and then you came over. I was like, whoa.
You're like, it's okay. I was like, no,
because I had like had it before, so I was like, it will go down, like don't stress, like honestly in 3 days you're gonna be wishing you had more, and like whatever. But like when you came over, I was like, oh
no, it's because
those are big.
because this is why. Don't be like me, people. If you ever get filler, you ever get anything done cosmetic, give yourself 24 to 48 hours. Do not go to the gym, drink a lot of water, don't drink,
don't take a super hot shower,
don't be like me, because guess what I did? I got filler, then the next day I went and I worked out, and then I took a hot shower, and
you drank.
Emily and I went out drinking. Yeah. And I had the biggest, juiciest fucking lips. They looked so fake. Like they looked like they looked like I probably had six syringes, dude.
Yeah, it was like, giving like Love Island girl.
It was giving, it was giving bad. It wasn't cute.
But like every time like I'll be in my kitchen and that pops up, I'm like, whoa.
It was giving overfill, duck lips, and the back does, they were bruised. Like it.
Yeah, they were a bit bruised.
But I had like lipstick on that night. No, but that was the next day. So I mean, like, truthfully too, it was the next day of lips. Like, it is what it is. But
yeah, especially because like when you sleep, they get like swollen in the middle of the night.
I was keeping like ice on them because it hurt so bad, and then I ended up loving them.
Yeah, well, once it like chills out and the swelling goes away, it looks great. But like, it was just so funny because it was like so recent.
Well, it was also the first time I ever got filler, so like my lips also like weren't stretched in any way, like, because the second time I got filler they didn't do that, they just got like, a little bit more bruised, and after like 3 days they were completely fine. But like it definitely was just because like the first time I ever got them, like all the things combined. But yeah, I don't know, I haven't had filler in like over a year, and I'm like, look at my lips and I'm like, damn, I still like them, but like they were juicy. And do I do it again? And I've been seriously debating, but I don't know. I'm like, it's not worth it. Like, to me, it's not worth it. Like,
so not, because honestly, it has already changed the structure of your face.
Yeah.
So like they are significantly bigger than
they were
your
before.
actual
Yeah,
lips.
I know.
And that's what I have to realize too, because like I go back and look at photos, I'm like, no, because the way that like my whole face is different.
Yeah.
Because I also got jaw filler
did.
really like long time ago, like almost 3 years ago now.
We were friends that when you got that.
Yeah, it was like right after I moved here. Like it was not that long. So it's been like 3 years. And like even getting that, like because I did never get it dissolved, like there is difference in my facial structure from that too, that I probably should go and have them just put a syringe and dissolve whatever.
I was thinking that too. I was like, I should probably just dissolve my lips completely. But at this point, I'm just going to let them fucking rock out. But have you ever had like in the inner part of your lip, like shit like peels because of your filler?
No.
I have it all the time, and I've never had it since I had filler. And another friend, it happens to her too. It's like almost like it feels like it's like dissolving, and it just like comes out like a string off of my lip.
What?
It's so gross.
No, but also every time I got filler, I did not do a lot each time. So like
I ended up with, by the end of me stopping, I ended up with 2.5 syringes in my lips.
No,
So-
I only got a half every time, and I would wait like a year in between.
That's
so I
probably-
wasn't doing a lot.
But like literally, I like it's like I can do this, not right now because it's not there, but like I could literally just go and it just like is a glob. It's weird.
yeah, maybe Google it. Have you Googled it?
I'm scared.
Okay,
I'm not.
that
about
doesn't sound normal.
No,
And if it's somebody else is having it too, it definitely sounds like a side effect of
that's
like,
what, I think it's just a side effect of it because I've never had it before. I had filler, and I never had it until like honestly.
is it your skin or is it from the inside of like, is it like
I really
oozing out, or is it like your skin
not
itself
like it's like
peeling
it's-
off?
It's like I think a combination.
Because I was gonna say it might also just be from, since you're constantly using lip products, and if it's just like your skin reacting to that, because I feel like
Possibly.
mine, I've conditioned my lips to be so reliant on like that lubrication that like even right now, like I don't have it on because I didn't bring any because I forgot. Like I feel like my lips are getting itchy and like I keep messing with it and licking my lips because they're like not actively wet. So I feel like that also could be like it getting in your mouth, like not on purpose.
Now
but
I'm like
just
sitting here like trying to
you know
have
what I mean?
it happen.
Yeah.
Like, where is it? No, that's I don't know. I don't know. I'm like very indifferent about like the whole cosmetic thing, but
I'm honestly like I'm used to be very like pro do whatever you want that makes you happy, whatever. And I'm still pro that. But I'm also very much pro like natural is actually prettier because I think we've kind of reached the tipping point with the plastic surgeries and shit to where it's like that doesn't even look like a person anymore. And so like even noticing like little things on myself that like when I was doing that stuff, like not that I didn't look human because I wasn't doing it a lot because honestly I couldn't afford to do a lot. But like looking at my face now, I'm like, no, because there's things I like more about my like even just like not doing Botox in my forehead anymore and just like having lines on my forehead, just they're gonna be there, whatever. But I would like look at the way that like my eyes looked when I was doing Botox and like things like that, or like my expressions, like I just wasn't able to do as much. I'm like, no, because like it's just not as good. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So I think it's like doing it and then stopping has made me appreciate my actual face a lot more. I think that also goes into just like anything that you do, like even my hair, like having my natural hair color for the first time in my whole life. I'm like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it does look better. You know what I mean?
You're like, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Actually.
So it's like little things like that I think have like made me appreciate my genes, I guess, a bit more. Sorry, mom and dad, that I like was trying to change myself for so long.
I mean, I haven't really like. I guess mine is more like gym. Like, I always like when I'm at the gym, like I always have like something I want to work on.
Yeah.
Like, I either want to like have abs or have a fatter ass or like,
all that ship is long sailed for me. I'm like, you know what? Just as long as you're healthy, I don't care. Like,
yeah.
but aesthetically, I used to care a lot about like my face and my hair and like things like that, that now I'm kind of I think I don't really care.
This is something, so like as I've gotten older, like I've definitely like been a lot better of like being nicer to myself and like good self-talk and like just being like, now I don't care. Like I feel like very beautiful. I love my body. I think that like my shit doesn't stink. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm my own height person and like doesn't matter, but like I do feel a lot better like now that I'm like working out consistently again. And, like, I just feel like feel more like lean and back to myself and like I feel good. I don't think I'm like taking it too crazy where I'm like jacked and like my arms are like I look too crazy, but I don't know. I just like do enjoy it, but then the problem with it is like when I'm at the gym, I'm like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like you're still hot. It doesn't fucking matter. You're still hot. It's like I have to like tell myself that all the time because I'm like,
that's why I stopped. Like when I was training, I stopped running in the gym and I would just go run outside because like I didn't like the fact that I could like look over at the mirror as I'm running and I'm like, oh God, that's giving me the ick because like I don't have like cute form and like I'm like ew and then I'm like, oh, maybe I should go like do this while I'm here, and I'm like, no,
I don't know. I've just really gotten to a point where it's like I do put a lot of effort and time into like my physique and like my fitness and stuff like that, but also like being okay with the fact that like I'm a woman and like my body is changing and I don't have a 14-year-old body anymore, but I was a fucking stick and like I could eat whatever I wanted, and like having that like realization of like it's okay to have a little bit of a curve and it's okay like to be like not be perfect. And I think that's like a very hard thing to like overcome and be like, this is your natural body and you work really hard for what this looks like and you have to be okay with it. And I think that that's like part of like the not getting Botox anymore type thing of just like realization of just being like naturally it's beautiful, like you are beautiful and it's okay like to accept that and like whatever. But I also think like I don't know, I guess as you get older like your body just changes so much that like
you just can't keep up with the shit.
No, especially like being a woman because like we're at the age where like our body's like now preparing for like childbearing years. I feel like it's just like
well actually like shifting. I posted that we talked about this a long time ago, and I know we've talked about this shit a lot, but we're women and we'd like to talk about our bodies and our faces and shit. So if you don't like it, leave. But we talked about this a long time ago when we talked about like our bodies changing and like how our periods are crazy and whatever. And somebody commented, and this humbled me so fast because it's like, it's probably because we're like in our childbearing years and blah, blah, blah. And they go, no, it's because you've passed it. And so now your body... They go because she's like it was like a nurse or something, and so she was like, so technically you've passed the point of peak all of that, so now your body's preparing for premenopausal.
Bitch, I'm 26.
I know, but I was like, damn, because I was like, it was talking about like how our periods are getting worse and we're doing all this stuff, and they're like, no, that's actually because you're past that ideal time.
What was ideal? 13 to fucking 20? What the fuck?
No, it's supposed to it was like 20 to like 24 or something is like your most fertile time or whatever.
What?
Yeah, and so but her whole comment, she was like, no, it's technically because and I was like, oh, I thought I was really like I thought I was like being like
I thought I was becoming a woman. I thought I was maturing. The fuck?
I was like, nobody's gonna humble you faster than people in fucking TikTok being like, no, it's because you're
in your premenopausal. I feel like this is a pre to pre because what the fuck?
I know. I was like, oh. They go, no, it's actually because you've passed your peak childbearing years. I was like, oh, we're not prepping for it. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's like 30 to like 40.
Yeah.
They're like,
because
no.
Okay, because also what I've heard, obviously not through experience because I'm not 30 yet, but your 30s are your best years for fucking as a woman. Apparently you're like super sexual and like always just like ready to go.
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
I've heard that genuinely. I've heard from a lot of women that like your 30s are your best years for fucking as a woman. We're like
probably because you are able to like not be as stressed out all the fucking time. Because I feel like your 20s are so much about like your job and like fucking like chasing the bag drive. And like doing all this stuff.
It's like science. Like you're like our libido like ramps up, which to me would be because of like having a child and like all the things like those years, right?
But it's like, also probably because you're getting ready for menopause.
Maybe, but like guys, it's opposite. Like theirs is like their 20s, and then as they start hitting 30s, like their libido starts to sink, and ours just like revs up, which is like crazy. There's like a whole science to it, and it's not just like external factors for sure come into play with like person to person's like libido, but like overall,
Yeah.
That's just how like women to men are. And I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? Now when I want to start fucking all the time, you don't?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. And it's like, well, I guess it's good for people like you and me who like maybe don't really want kids as much. So
That's
it's like
true.
that we can kind of just be pretty careless. And if it happens, it happens.
That's true. As long as I'm in my 30s and I have someone I want to be with, like,
Yeah.
I don't care about that. Like,
Yeah, like,
I
you're
don't
straight.
want them. I don't want them. Hopefully you don't want them. But
Yeah.
if it happened and like this is what we're doing, whatever.
Then we'll just bring a child into the world that neither one of us want.
Yeah, that's my sister and her husband.
And no trauma will be given to that kid.
No. Because no, this is the thing. I would still love my child. Like I would never make them. I mean, now I have a public platform that they're gonna know I never wanted a child. But like, which we all know has gotten me in trouble these days.
Yeah.
So.
Hey mom, why'd you say that you used to never want to have a kid?
Okay, but honestly though, okay, so my sister and I had a conversation about this at Christmas, and like about her, because like her and her husband have never wanted to have kids, and like that's just always been their thing, like financially, like just time wise, all that kind of stuff. But like now that they're like actually in their 30s, and they're at a point too where like they've been together for 13 years, but it's like in your 20s, like they didn't want to have kids, and I feel like that's gonna be the same way. Like, I don't want to have them. I just want to enjoy my time with you and like go travel, live life, like enjoy nice things.
Yeah.
Where like you kind of hit your 30s, and I think that's when like life truly starts to like set in of like, okay, like the career, gotta start climbing now, gotta start getting my shit in order for like the future. And like if I do want a kid, the time is kind of now, essentially, because it's like not that it's now or never, but like the longer
biologically,
biologically, the longer you wait as a woman, the harder it is, and whatever. And like she's like, you know, I just kind of go back and forth in my head now, because it's like if I want to, like now's the time, and like being a woman, you kind of start thinking like
that's what fucking sucks, because it's like you don't even get the opportunity to like really decide. And I feel like that is why a lot of people have kids, because of that exact mentality, because it makes sense. It's like, well, if I don't now, then I never can unless I do something like adoption or whatever. And there's, you know, a whole strew of like issues with that system, with it being like so expensive. It's very hard to like get even into it unless you do like a foster to adopt situation, and if you don't have experience with that, and if you do it for the wrong reasons, like your child, you can really fuck up your kid, and like what it's just like there's so many complications. So a lot of people, I feel like, do the same thing where it's like, well fuck, like we should just try for a kid because like whatever. And
so their whole thing now is like just they're still on like the if it happens it happens, if it doesn't it doesn't train. Like they're not like out here purposely trying to have a kid, but also like, I mean, they've been married now, they've been together for a while. Like obviously if it happens, they wanted to do it with each other. Like it is what it is. And that's where she's like, I kind of just like, she's like, a part of me just like hopes that it just happens. Like,
so you don't have to make the decision.
Yeah, she's like, I don't want the decision. Like, I don't want the decision of like, yes, we're going to try for a kid and we're going to have a kid and we're going to do this. And she's like, but I also don't want the decision of like, no, I'm never fucking doing it. She's like, that's just like where my brain is now, like in my 30s. Like before it was like, nope, never, not doing it. Fuck that. No. And now it's like, I just want someone to make the decision. Like if I'm going to have one, like universe, tell me. But like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
I feel like that's where I'm going to end up being in my 30s. Like, especially if you're with someone that you like, and also they have a niece. So like being able to see like the person that you love around a child is like, as a woman, it doesn't matter if you want a kid or not. Like that's just very endearing. Like to see a man that you love take care of like your animals or take care of a child or like just be that person, like that's just like attractive
if they're good at it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So like,
I've been around some guys and they're around kids and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
No, for sure. But that's where it's like, if it's your own or not even your own, but like I don't know, just seeing that like, and they're good at it, it's like
gives you a sense of like a bit more like confidence when it comes to like, okay, like I know that you wouldn't like be the worst. You know, but. Yeah, I agree. I don't really know what I want, but also I think a lot of that has to do with it's like I don't even know what I want for my own life. So it's like who knows?
But that's the thing. Like me and my friend that we're talking about, like possibly going back to school and whatever. Like she has a boyfriend who's like the sweetest person and like just is so supportive of like her and everything. And he was like, he's like, I get that it would be 2 years of school, and that seems like a lot of time. And like going back to school, like at 26, 27, like that's. Like it seems like rough, and it would be because like getting back into like the swing of school is like crazy to think about. But he was like, to her, obviously not to me. But he was like, if you think about it, 2 years, like the whole scheme of your life is like nothing.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, if you want to go do that, take the 2 years, like where you still don't have kids, you don't have all the responsibilities that you're like, will at some point, and then being like, oh fuck, I should have done that. Like,
yeah, well, because I mean that's kind of like what my brother's doing right now. Like he's in his like executive MBA program. It's really hard right now because he has 2 kids. He works full time, and the class schedule was like a bit too intense. So like he literally had to like take a step back and do like less classes. So it's going to take him longer to finish. But like to your point, it's like it's so much harder when life gets real. And like when it's like you don't have all these things in front of you to just like keep putting something off that like you've always wanted to do or you've always thought about. It's like it's only going to get harder to do down the road. And like literally in our guide episode this week, somebody wrote in just talking about like they're in a school right now where it's like something that they're very passionate about, but they're having these like maybe regrets of doing it and like feelings of like, I don't know if this was the right choice. I'm having like I'm missing my family. I'm doing all these things. But then like we were just talking about like the time that you're going to devote to this is nothing in compared to like what you'll either get out of it, or even if you don't get anything out of it, it's not that big of a commitment in terms of the rest of your life. Like I think back at my master's program, it's like, am I using that in my job? No. But is it something that like I regret doing? Also no, because it's like, it's still beneficial to me at the end of the day. And even if it wasn't, it doesn't matter because it wasn't that long of a thing. It's not like it's not like I'm 45 and worked in one career my whole life that I was never passionate about, and like I sold my soul to whatever, and now I'm just like, you know what, maybe I should do something. And I'm regretting the past 30 years of my career. It's like when things are like that and they're so small and you're so young, it's like, just fucking do it. Because the worst thing that you can do is like regret that 18 months or that 2 years that you gave to it or whatever. It's like,
well, and also like those things,
I guess
like,
the worst thing that you could do is just get more debt. But.
Right. And that's the thing was like that, I think I would just like work and try to pay it as I go.
Yeah. Instead of having to take loans out.
Yeah. And if I would have to pay a little bit, but like whatever.
Yeah.
But even for like to you, like you're always going to have that. And it's always like, it's always gonna be something that you can refer to or like build upon or like whatever. And that's the same thing like this, like even if I just did it, it'd be stupid because it's a lot of money to just do for my own fucking life. But like if I decided to like just for my own knowledge, which would again be dumb, but I could if I wanted to.
You know what? I actually have something that's like similar lines of this, but kind of different. But I was talking to my friend who I got lunch with this past weekend, and we were talking about like, she's like one of those people who's like always dating somebody that's just her and whatever. But she was talking to me about dating and was like, oh, like, are you like actively trying to date? And I'm just kind of like, you know what? Like, I haven't actively tried to date in a while because I deleted the apps. And so she's like, yeah. And her whole point was like, it's so hard to meet people if you don't do apps. And I was like, yeah, but I really want to start going out again to just like force myself to be social,
meet people too. Like you grow.
But she was talking about, she was like, yeah, I've been trying to like do classes and stuff to like, you know, do something that I'm passionate about and learn a bit more about it, and B, like to try to meet people. But it was so funny because she was talking about how it's so hard to find like classes for things that aren't like so serious.
I was like, I feel like everything's like a couple thing. Or like you go as a pair of two. Or
yeah, but she was talking about like, because I was telling her, I was like, you know what? Like I've been wanting to do like a pastry class or like a decorating class or something because I love baking. I love doing all this stuff, but it's so hard for me to find something that's not like a one-time thing or it's like fucking pastry school. And she was like, no, that's so real because as an adult, there's not a lot of places that exist or like education that exists that isn't like college or like graduate level education or like a specialty school.
Right. But
that's just casual where I can just go learn how to do this. And so she's like currently in this like pottery class, but it's like semesters that you take. So it's like a bit more intense, but it's also not like the pottery school of the arts or whatever.
Well, but the thing about that is, so like, in order to meet somebody, like, there's the whole science behind it is like, when you go back to the same thing or you're doing the same thing over and over again, like, you start becoming friends with those people or you start dating those people or whatever, because like, when you have a common interest and you keep going to the same place and you start learning each other's like personality a little bit. So like, truly doing something that's not just one time might be good.
Yeah.
Because that's how you start to like.
No. But I'm saying that doesn't really exist besides like a super serious level. Because she was saying and I was saying the same thing. I'm like, no, it's so hard for me. Because like even cooking classes, it's like a one night thing.
Yeah.
Or it's like a 2-week thing. And it's like, but can't it be something that's like, because as a kid, you think of dance lessons. You think of all these things that you go to for like almost a whole year.
Yeah, but for adults,
you go
it's like not
once a week.
Yeah.
You do your thing for an hour and you leave. That's not a thing for adults. That's like during after work times. Because her whole thing too, she's like, it's so hard to find stuff that's not from fucking 9 to 5. That's like from 5 to 9. That's for adults. That isn't like a weird, super serious
But I feel
thing.
like this is like a business right here.
Exactly, because we were talking, because I was like, you know what? I would love to take art classes. Unless you want to go to community college or you want, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
where
true.
is the, like, even when I was looking for guitar lessons, like, that was so hard to find for adults. And we're in fucking Music City. It shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just so funny because we were talking about, like, there's skills that we want to learn, but I don't want to be a professional pastry chef.
I just want to go and like do intermediate pastry.
Exactly, like
learn a couple things.
I don't need to get any certificate. I don't need to get any like
I want to go
credentials.
learn how to bake a puff pastry.
Literally.
And then the next time come and make like the best devil chocolate cake you could think of.
Yes, and I don't want to pay $10,000 to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Like I just want to pay.
And also like that's just like meeting friends and like getting out of the house, like having something to look forward to. Like I mean, I guess you could do it in like the only way that I know that to do these things, and like I've actually looked into like doing stuff like this too, of just like going taking cooking classes, and there's nothing like that in Nashville unless they come to your house,
and it's so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
It's like $200 a time.
Yeah. So the thing is,
and you bring your own fucking ingredients.
There's
like,
actually a place
bullshit.
in Murfreesboro. There's a place in Murfreesboro that does cooking classes, and I did find it. They fill up fast. So that's like the only place that's like that you can go take classes. Also, there's the coffee shop right over here. They do chef nights. And they have a chef that comes in. Like you have to like find places like that that like do little things. Like looking up for a class is like nearly impossible. But the coffee shop over here, they do little classes like randomly. You have to go on like their website, and every month they'll post like one night a week they'll do something. And like sometimes they just have like a celebrity, not a celebrity, it's a fucking little coffee shop over here, but like
Bobby Flay.
Yeah, Bobby Flay coming on in here. No, but like,
I know what you mean, like a professional chef.
A professional chef coming in, and like they like make little things. Like one night they had like a sushi night over there, and they had like a sandwich night or something. Like I don't know, they had, like homemade dough and stuff like that. Like they use their kitchen, like they open up their kitchen to like do it.
That's cool.
Because it's like I don't think they're open on Sundays, and I think that's when they do it. But I've seen that, and I've always like thought about. I'm like, that's such a good, like a cool idea.
Yeah.
But like those are like the things you have to like find, because other than that, like where are you gonna? You can't just like sign up for a class like that.
Yeah.
But that's
and if
like,
you do, it's like so expensive. It's like a one-off kind of thing. But like, yeah, no. And I've honestly, like, this is so fucking lame. But like, if I was in LA, I would totally do this. But here, it's like, it would be hard to find. But like, I would love to go like do like improv classes or like little like acting things. Like just because it's like I enjoy performing and like doing that shit. And like, I think at one point in my life, I wouldn't like mind, or like I feel like I would like to do some form of just like performance, whatever, whether that's like stand up or whether that's like, I don't know, like little dumb things on the weekends with friends. It's like little fucking improv things. Like I just enjoy shit like that. But again, as an adult, it's really hard to find stuff like that isn't so serious.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not trying to be an actor. I'm not trying to be a comedian. But like I do like stuff like that. And growing up as a dancer, like in performance and stuff like that, like it's just fun. And they do have dance classes and stuff. But like, again, it's like kind of serious. I'm just trying to do something that's so casual but still consistent, and it's the same people every time, and we're all just kind of like, this is just for fun,
right?
It's
and then
not that
but truly
deep.
like that's how you're gonna meet. Like that's why started serving again because a part of it was like the social aspect of it and like meeting people and having friends, and like at this point being there for a year, like I've made friends from it, like people that I feel like actually if I left today I would still be friends with.
Yeah.
And then some that are just like loose people in your life, of course. But like
it's still like human interaction though.
Right. But like a part of it is like it was like very good for me this past year to like have those like certain people in my life. But like, yeah, even to that, like it's just, and then it's like something to look forward to, and then like being able to be like, oh, we have this little pastry. Come over to my house.
Yeah.
Let's make pastries together at my house.
Yeah.
Have a little night. We have a little girls' night.
But imagine like if I was in like a little acting troupe or whatever, and I'm like, yo, we got a little improv show this weekend.
I'm coming.
Up. It'll be the cringiest thing you've ever seen, but it's still fun, and it's like so unserious, and nobody cares. There's no like, it doesn't matter. And like, I'm just trying to do shit like that where it's like, the training for the marathon thing was fun, but that was fucking intense. And like, it was very mentally taxing and physically taxing. And so like, I could join like a little running club. Okay. But it's also not the most social thing I could do. So it's like, I'm like thinking of like little things.
But that could be because honestly, a lot of the social clubs, like after they always like, if they do it in the morning, they have like a brunch after or like you could like, I don't know. I feel like that would still be a thing. That's like even like the kickball teams. Like even when we make fun of them, it's like kind of the same vibe.
Yeah,
be for real. Like you know what I mean? Like
Well, it's definitely the same vibe. I just don't enjoy sports.
No, 100%. I'm not doing kickball, but it's a similar vibe to it. But like
I'm not wearing a matching jersey with you. It's just not gonna happen.
Truly, like that's not a thing as like an adult.
It's so weird because we were getting to talking, and I was like, no, that's so crazy because like after school activities was a pivotal part of me growing up because my parents needed some fucking time away from us. And B, it's like, that's how you like meet people and figure out what you like to do. And like, there's just not a lot of that in adulthood. And unless you pay a lot of money for it, you know?
And like, and then if you don't want to pay a lot of money for it, it's now like an at-home class. And it's like, that's not the point.
And it's like, you're not getting the camaraderie. You're not getting like the community from it.
Well,
it's
and that's
just
what
not
like, I
the
feel
same.
about like this, like, going to school. Like, I mean, realistically, if I wanted at the end of the day for this to like be an actual degree and everything, I'd have to, because I'd have to like get the certification and sit for a test. But like, still, I'm like, there's other ways I could go about it and not have to like be so serious in school and still not have the same end result, because like I would actually genuinely have to have like the certification. And like, you know, add a couple letters to my name, I guess. But like, I mean, at the end of the day, like it would be, there's other ways you could technically do it and it not be so serious.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's so true.
Yeah. But we just got to talking about that. And I was like, you're so right. Because like, it's almost like the world expects adults to stop learning once you hit a certain point in your life. And that's just like, maybe some people are okay with that, but like for me, it's like I always like to like learn new things or try new things, and at a level where I'm not trying to make this into anything serious. Like I just want to do it because I like it or whatever. And I think that's why people go on things like Reddit or YouTube or whatever, because like they just like want to learn shit. But as an adult, it's so hard to do that isn't either so expensive or it's like just like actually like you're getting your certificate, and it's like it's not that serious. I just want to kind of like, I don't know,
I want to fuck around and learn skill,
learn some techniques that on YouTube I could technically learn, but like I just kind of want to do it with other people, like
meet people.
And my teacher might not be a professional either. I don't even care. Like I just want, like they might not have gone to pastry school.
There has to be something. I feel like truly we could like, if you put on like the Nashville Girls group on Facebook, someone's gonna have something.
I know, but I don't know. I was like really thinking about like, or even getting into writing for like comedy stuff, like because I love doing that. Like that is so much fun for me. Like on TikTok, like if I could make my TikTok account a skit account, I would. It's just not where I've gained my audience. So if I just started doing that, people would be like, what the fuck? This is random.
Give me another TikTok.
Yeah, but like I do enjoy like that type of stuff, and I really enjoy stand up. I think it would be so much work for me to like learn the art of it and like to know how to do it. But I don't think it's that far off of a like dream from what we do with this and like what I do
it all ties together,
personally. But also, I got to start somewhere with learning how to do it and like working through like the awkwardness at the beginning. But I also am not trying to go like to acting school. Like, you know what I mean?
There are classes for stand-up actually. I was on a plane one time and this is insane. I was on a plane one time and this guy was telling me about his entire skit.
That concrete hands or whatever. The guy who had like concrete all over his hands, and he was like a SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah. Like, when we went to Cabo. Yeah, we were coming back, and like I was sitting between them, and they were like both like one was Lil Xan, was that his name?
No, that's an actual rapper's name.
But it was something like that, like something along the lines of that, where I was like, makes sense. And he like,
what was his name? It was something like that, because we looked him up on TikTok and he like actually had like a big following.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
But yeah, it was like a big following, but like at the same time, it's like, never heard
no interaction.
Yeah, yeah, that too. It was like 300 views on his videos and he had like 500,000 followers. Yeah, like the math isn't mathing.
But he sat on one side of me. I'm in the middle seat, and the guy next to me was like this older dude, and they were like talking the whole time. But yeah, like the older dude took like a stand-up class one time to like learn how to just do it for fun and like get out of his comfort zone. And I think his skit ended up being somehow like he was about to get married. This was his thing. He was about to get married. I don't know that the actual like one-liners in it, but the gist was he was about to get married, and he was going through his like at his own house, going through all of his stuff so they could move in together. And he found like a collection of like all his like old porn magazines.
Oh yeah, you told the story.
Yeah, like all of his old porn magazines, and he was like, well, fuck it, like I don't need these. I'm gonna take it to the homeless people in like downtown. So he like took it down. He like had it in a whole box and like took it. He's like, I felt like a fucking creep, just like pulling up on the side of the road to like this homeless camp and just like handing them
porn,
a whole bunch of porn.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just like got back in my car and like kind of left. Like, there was like a whole like skit to it and whatever. And he like went through it, and it was like kind of funny, but also kind of like fucking weird. But
and also it's like, read the room, bro. We're on a plane.
We're on a plane. Like it was
I don't
weird.
know you.
Yeah, I don't know you. You don't know me. But like, I mean, he tried out his whole skit. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't
testing
bad.
his material.
It wasn't bad. He wasn't funny. And then like Lil Narco or whatever the fuck was next to me.
It was something like that.
Something weird. That's what I'm saying. Like it was on the lines. He was like, yo, dude, this is what you should say next time. And like they were like bouncing ideas off each other. It was actually kind of cool. But then I put my headphones in and stopped listening. Yeah. So, but like, no, for real, like there is stuff like that. It's just like probably it is not that it's hard to find, but like I feel like things like that aren't super advertised, where like you could just a quick Google search does it.
And they're probably like full, but if you knew somebody who was in it, you could easily get in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know anybody who does anything.
Yeah.
Besides go to the gym and work. Like that's literally
that's me.
Even like
describe me next time. Just say it was me.
Name a single one of your friends that does some like extracurricular that's like a you know what I mean? It's like I don't know anybody besides like my friend who's in that like pottery school right now.
Right. Well, exactly. And that's like to their point of like, and then if like for you, like it's super serious to train for a marathon, or it's super like, or me like going back to school is super serious. Like outside of that shit, yeah, you're right.
It's so hard. Like,
yeah.
And then, so it's like even asking people, they're like, I don't know. Like, I literally don't know.
Yeah.
And so, So if you know any Nashville based improv comedy / stand-up comedy classes, let me know. That aren't like hundreds of dollars.
But I truly feel like, okay, like, I feel like this episode for everyone who's listening was like all over the fucking place, if I'm being honest. It was just like Emily and I having an everyday conversation. But truly I feel like the gist of it was like, we also don't know where we're at in life. And like wanting to like a change, but to like, I don't know. I feel like people are always like trying to find shit in their life to like be better, but you should want to. I think if you're too stagnant in your life and you feel that and you don't want to change, like that's also a problem. So
yeah, totally.
I don't know.
Unless you've just like peaked and like you've achieved everything you've ever
but like
wanted
also
to
you
do.
could be super fucking happy in your life and like love what you do and like love your routine and whatever. But like,
thinking back on that play that you did in the 8th grade and thinking maybe I do want to take some acting classes.
But even if it's not that, I just feel like there should always be like something you work towards, or like you're growing in, because if you're not growing as a person, you're just stagnant, and that's not, no one wants that.
Yeah. No.
And we don't want that for our listeners.
No, I agree. But anyways, I just thought on the same theme, that's kind of there too. It's just like self-improvement, but not that serious.
Yeah. I would love that too, because I feel like everything I do is like like a time sucker of like serious like
exactly
things.
Exactly. It's like a 1 hour commitment a week is all I'm really looking to do.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
Maybe in like 2 things.
Mine's like getting my nails done. That's like my most unserious thing.
Right.
For an hour every 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but like
I'm going to a new nail girl next week. Yeah, next week, and I'm excited because I like my old nail girl. She was cool, but this one's like a little bit younger, and I want to like go there and like gossip. You know what I mean? Like those like TikToks for like gossip with your nail. Like my last girl was super great. She was quiet, and there was part of it that was beauty. There's a beauty to that. But I want some tea.
That's why I love the lady who does my hair. A, she's like just really good, but B, she's just like so fun.
Yeah.
To like talk to.
That's what I'm saying.
And,
like I want to go. I want to like gossip a little bit, but I also am like okay to have like not talk the whole time. Like there's like it has to be like a happy medium.
Yeah, totally. Where it's like, yeah, and when you're in the bowl getting your hair washed, it's just quiet and it's so nice. But then when she's like snipping away, you're like spilling the tea.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Society 97. My name is Kellen Redk. You can find me at Kellen Redk on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I'm Emily Starnes. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Starnesy. Maybe I'll make another TikTok. Who knows? And start posting some skits. That won't happen. But anyways, you can also follow Society 97 on Instagram or at society97.pod. And we are on TikTok where we post clips from the show at Society97pod, no dot.
And we also have our YouTube channel, Society 97, where we post fun videos every single Tuesday and the version of the podcast every single Friday. So turn on post notification. Oh my God. Turn on post notifications, subscribe, comment.
Another
love
club.
us.
Another club. Another club.
That's how I feel. We love you. Okay, bye.
Bye.